And now they have passed through and across three eternities, those of monads, matter, and spirit. Fourthly, they remain in no condition above a century, which accounts for the fact that no well authenticated instance of intercourse with a spirit over a century dead has yet been recorded. Lastly, they ever pass onward, and each condition differs from the last, as does sleep from wakefulness. There are a multitude of these changes. It takes about a century to graduate or gravitate from one condition to another. When we pass from this world, we take some things with us which we are obliged to unlearn there. Thus, some want to drink, others rest, fruit, land, houses, money, and so forth. Some want children and desire to cohabit as on earth. All have just what they want, only that the children begotten there are mere phasmas. Just as by the powerful effort here we create a beautiful puppy dog and hold it in our ideal before our eyes. A crazy man's golden crown and throne, although to us nothing but a straw and bits of stone, are to him gold and diamonds, and flash forth the richest scintillations of the most precious jewels. It is a state of mind. Millions of crazy people inhabit both worlds, whence it follows that insanity is a disease of the mind as well as a result of organic and chemical change and disturbance in the body. It is hard to describe the spiritual things in material language. Amongst all the flood of spiritual literature, I know of no single work that gives the faintest idea of spiritual actualities, if we except Swedenborg, and a fugitive lecture or two by persons not necessarily to be named herein. All that passes current is such as far more ideal and material than spiritual, and is referable, as to origin, to excited ideality and other peculiar mental states, rather than the supernal world. Amidst the 3,000,000 speeches a year delivered under professed spirit influence, it is my deliberate conviction that not over 10 in 1,000 has its source in the pure soul realm. Many originate in the middle states of the spiritual world, very mainly of the vividly and beautiful descriptions of spirit life, scenery, and so forth, which so please us to hear, are transcripts from other individuals' inner self, or rather from the outcreations thereof. Of course, these are true to the individual, but to no one else. Let it but be remembered that the man was immortal in the past as he now and will be, and that during the state, as monad or faisal, of pre-incarnate being, he had an experience as real to him then as present to him and now, and we shall no longer marvel at the genius or the stupendous powers of the human mind. During the sublime experiences of my soul, which I am endeavoring to recount, I became thoroughly satisfied, not as the medium, not from the spiritual teaching, but from the soul observation, that man, like God, had no beginning, as did matter as we know it, and that, like him, he will never positively have an end, albeit the modes of God and those of man. For at the bottom they are one, continually changed conditions. This brings us to the question, what is God? Up there upon the beautiful ether, all was still in silent music, yet moving in beauty, order, and form, which were outcreations of the eternal monad, self-conscious and awful. Shone a sun, ineffable glory and majesty, the omnipotent God. This sun shines in the heaven of spirit, just as the comparatively tiny immaterial suns illuminate the material universe. The spiritual does not glide into the material, but is from and above it, just in the sense that this meaning of the essence is above the sound or characters which convey it, and in no other. The grand procession of material universes constantly sweeps along the eternities, receive light, life, and love, thence fructify, incarnate monad's beauty, consciousness, form, order, law, music, and number in human souls, and then exhaustion prepares the same material universes, or rather their bases, for a new infiltration of God-odd, so to speak, differing from the last. And so on forever. One procession is in one eternity, or rather cycle. Thus it will be seen by those who can grasp this tremendous thought that all matter, the amazing system of substance, is, after all, but a mere fleck, a mote in the sun's rays, a mere grain of the awful shores of the stupendous spiritual ocean. Nor does all matter exist bear a greater proportion to the spiritual than the orange does a bulk to the Rocky Mountain chain. The material system moves near its center, and spiritual waves flow on all sides into the ineffable beyond. The fountain whence they flow is God, and this word God is a poor term. Men become gods, and greater hereafter gods for good, use, and order, the opposite of these. But this of which I speak, the eternal secret, the awful yet radiant mystery, is a far beyond an ideal Jehovah, as is the human beyond the annelid. Let us make a chain. Matter is the first link. Spirit is the second. I speak of universes now. Remember, soul, that which constitutes the human think principle, is the third. The oversoul flows from through all sense as man's spirit through his body. Now, man is conscious only partly. He knows nothing just on the other side of himself, is ignorant of what life is, and of the august power which governs his involuntary self. The oversoul flows out into all, into the universe of think. I can use no other term. Into that of soul, monads, spirit, matter, and while pervading the being immanent in all, is self-conscious at every point in the think, the monad, the soul, the spirit, the matter, in every particle that is or ever can be.